This is Oscar Bevis for the Stomping Ground, powered by Wow Hydrate and available on the DAZN. They're one of the biggest fights of the year, and no one was about, so I had to interview Dev Sahni. Sorry, mate. I had to.
Very good.
Yeah, you're just kind of up here chewing the fat with some boxing heads about one of the best fights of the year. Do you sometimes think, and I asked this to the fighters about Riyadh season and whatnot, do you just sometimes stand there and think, living the dream?
Oh, you've just made me do it, Oscar. You've just made me do it. It's crazy. It's crazy. Yeah, I'm lucky. And someone said to me earlier, a producer that works with us, Ian, we had a little look about, and he was like, Dev, we'll look back on these as the good old days. It's amazing. I'm loving it. This fight's incredible, and it's history. God, Riyadh season's so great, isn't it? Hasn't it been so great? Like, it's changed my life. Like, it was last year, Fury and Garnu, where it all started, and suddenly I was just doing like massive stuff, and it's been epic. It's been a lot of learning, and I've just loved it. This fight's unbelievable, by the way, Oscar. And this is great as well. Well done on the little mic head cover.
The mic cover, they took long enough.
Oh, I like
Shout out to Road, who we gave about 8 months of promotion to, but the Stomping Ground mic covers have arrived. I want to know what people were saying up here, because such contrasting opinions, kind of bang down the middle. You ask 10 people, 5 will say Bivol, 5 will say Beterbiev, maybe a couple more 60-40 towards Bivol. But what sort of stuff were the guys saying up here?
Do you know, interesting, because I have generally found that as well. I think Bivol is a slight favourite, but all the guys up here, so Matt Macklin, Andy Clarke, and myself, are all going with Beterbiev. All of us. I think with Beterbiev, I think people are waiting, willing, hoping that he's got old overnight.
We had that with Anthony Yard and Callum Smith.
As Brits. Exactly. I think even in the Callum Johnson fight a few years back, it was like, oh, you know, he's not a young man, you know. All those amateur fights, he's been doing it for ages, you know. But it never happens. And it's a case of, will it happen this time? Once again, coming off an injury, just like he always seems to be. Once again, those question marks. Is he still the same? His body's breaking down. And I just think, once again, he's probably just going to do his thing, and everyone's going to be like, he's really good, isn't he? He's so scary. And he is scary. He's like a nice guy as well. That's the mad thing. He's a nice guy, but he's absolutely terrifying. I would hate to fight anyone, but I would hate to fight him. He's just like a rash that you can't get rid of, and he's causing a lot of itchiness in the 175 division.
Yeah, he is an absolute monster, and I suppose when you look at the way that Dmitry Bivol dealt with Canelo's pressure, there is method to way Dmitry could win.
It's different,
whatever
Oscar,
it is,
that's the thing.
If he is to win, Dmitry, and we'll just say on points for the sake of this question, you know that it's going to be a hellish 12 rounds.
Oh yeah, he'll have to go through hell if he's going to win this. And yeah, you talk about Canelo. Do you think Bivol can afford to tuck up on the ropes and just take shots from Beterbiev? Like, let him have a few and wear himself out. Because he hits you everywhere and it hurts. That's what it seems to be. It hit you on the arm, hit you on the side of the head. Sometimes it hit you on the back of the head. He seems to do these things, and whatever he touches, he destroys. But I think one clear thing is, if anyone is going to beat him, it's going to be Bivol at 175. It's either going to be Bivol or going up in weight and finding out that he's not the biggest puncher in there and things like that. Bivol's got the style to do it. Has he got the engine and the concentration, the focus, and the chin to keep away from getting hurt for 12 rounds? Big task.
Mate, I can't wait. And if that wasn't enough, round 13, Fabio Wardley, Fraser Clarke. Everyone has been saying this to them two for the last couple of days. I hope it picks up where it was left off. I mean, it'd be great for us.
Yeah.
But surely after that, they've gone back to their camps and gone, right, this is what we need to do to adjust, etc. So I can't imagine, and sorry to be a killjoy, it will be as good. You never know. But we're still going to get a good fight, surely.
Well, Oscar, look, I'm here to sell the fight. I think it's going to be even better. Mate. Listen, they've both promised a war. Both have said that. Both have used the whole round 13 thing. Both will have gone away and made their adjustments and said, I'm going to do this, I'm going to do that.
The adjustments go out the window.
That's what I think will happen. I might be far off, but I think as soon as they get into a bit of a trade-up, someone feels something they don't want to feel, it's going to be same as before, and I just can't wait to see it. I think by probably 30 seconds in the first round, Fabio Wardley's nose will be busted up, and it will just look like a more epic fight than it actually is after that point. But I can't wait for it.
Yeah, blood definitely adds to a fight. It could be the worst fight of all time. If someone's busted up, you're like, yeah, this is a 10 out of 10 fight.
Does.
Obviously, you speak to all of these guys up close. Do you get, and I know you'd have done more interviews this time for Fabio Wardley and Fraser Clarke fight, of course, but do you sense, because I know you'd have watched stuff from the first fight, do you sense there's that little bit more needle now?
A little bit. Just a little bit.
Because respect because of the round shed.
Yeah, but I remember the build-up to the first fight, and I think the key way to find out will be the final press conference. The final press conference for their first fight was fairly matey. They were making each other laugh. They were talking about how Fraser Clarke's been getting DMs from people around Ipswich and stuff like that. It was all pretty jokey, light-hearted. They knew a war was coming. I feel like this time there will be a little bit more needle. I think things have been said. You know, Fabio Wardley said that Fraser Clarke was lucky to make it out of the round that he got knocked down in. That won't sit well with Fraser Clarke. Fraser Clarke said quite a few passionate things yesterday. Fabio Wardley's talked about it since, saying, "All right, mate, calm down. You get getting a bit emotionally involved." I think it's going to be a very good build-up. I think the press conference should be fireworks on Thursday.
Yeah, mate, can't wait. There's been loads of good kind of little clips, and shout out Umar, who had a nice little shit-stirring clip between the pair that done the rounds on Instagram.
What was his one?
So he showed Fraser an interview that he done with Fabio on the
Is that
laptop.
where he called him a jarring D-head?
Yeah.
Brilliant. Umar's great at just stirring up.
Yeah. I mean, that's kind of everyone's goal, but he's pretty good at it, to be fair. Sky and Raven. Raven seems to think she's found fear in Sky. I mean, they've only been around each other for this one day of fight week, but she's adamant that Sky's walking around and there's a little bit of something in her that she can see.
Yeah, she is. Look, she thinks that it's false confidence from Sky Nicholson, that this is all just kind of bravado and that she doesn't really believe it. And if she thinks that's great. Sky Nicholson's absolutely adamant that this is just her. She's clearly coming across really, really confident. Like, she's being announced as future undisputed. Is she going to get that on Saturday? Is that what she's going to be announced as in the ring? I think that's quite amazing, isn't it? I was speaking to Matt Macklin about it. I said, if your opponent got announced as future undisputed, how much would that wind you up?
I say, surely there's an extra 5% coming up.
I think so. I mean, Matt said, yeah, that would wind me up because, like, you're just clearly overlooking me. Or so if she gets announced like that, is Raven going to lose her head because she's angry? I don't know. It might not make any difference whatsoever. But stylistically, it is just perfect, isn't it? I mean, I don't think Raven's going to leave her alone, and I think Sky's going to try to ensure that Raven doesn't land a single punch. Brilliant.
Yeah. I'm here for it. Quick one just to finish up on Nick Ball.
Mate.
I would love to know how many rounds he could keep it up for without getting tired.
I think he could have done another 40 rounds after that. Like, he's apparently the hardest worker in the Red Triangle gym, and they got some workers in there. Yeah, they've got some incredible fighters in that gym, and in terms of work rate and just constantly working out and not having a break, not taking a rest.
He's sitting down in between rounds.
He doesn't even sit down in between. Imagine that.
That is pretty cool, isn't it?
Imagine being Ronnie Rios on Saturday night. You're getting, you're doing well at times, but largely you are kind of being slowly drowned. And you look up from your corner, and Nick Ball's just stood up and barely breathing. It must be heartbreaking. I think he's incredible. And really, the message around Nick Ball is, do you like watching Mike Tyson? If the answer's yes, you're going to like watching Nick Ball. Very, very special fighter and a brilliant world champion from the UK. Get behind him.